Ducky, for very few EDM enthusiasts, needs no introduction, but if the majority of the world knew and supported her style, it would have been a massive change for this unique gem of a producer, DJ, and performer within the EDM music scene. Raise your hand if you knew who Ducky was and or been to a Ducky set. Congratulations, you are a certified raver. And if you have at least supported her music, I want to personally say thank you for doing so. Even if you gave her music a shot, thanks. More with this message at the end of the video. Ducky was an electronic dance music DJ, producer, performer, and vocalist that was diverse in practically every type of EDM category. However, she was mainly known for being a happy-core, hard dance, dubstep, and a sprinkle of other genres in her DJ sets. She mainly produced songs, remixes, and a mess of bootlegs and edits that fit the unique style that Ducky was known for, an energetic raver. Within this video, we will see the birth to the end of Ducky, along with her discography throughout the years and other special bits of info and recommendations. This is the first C&D project video covering none other than Ducky. Being dropped off under an overpass by her friend's mom as a young adolescent, she wasn't supposed to be there, but this decision she made was the birth of Ducky. Finding a home where anyone can dance and be free, she wanted to create something in this space. Morgan Neiman started the name Ducky at the age of 13. A brief side note to mention, she did try the name Fidget, but went right back to Ducky. How did Morgan get the name Ducky? Let's just say Morgan made up so many stories throughout the times of her being a DJ and producer, but finally decided to come forward within an Insta post that you could find for yourself in the EDM box below. Minor clue, it involves with her middle school. For Morgan's raving experiences, she was able to go into rave underground areas via flyers and being in the bus with blacked out windows, not knowing where her or her other comrades were going to. In my personal opinion, this already sounds dangerous. Also went to numerous events including EDC Los Angeles, Masses, Together as One, Monster Massive, and many more. As a raver, Morgan got inspirations from numerous DJs and producers including Deadmau5, Benny Benassi, Cascade, and several more, along with the Postal Service, which involves Ben Gibbard and Jimmy Tamborello. After that, Ducky stated it went all game over into electronic dance music from there. This included finding her sound around 2014 through 2015. During the early times, she went to actual Ableton classes and was eager to learn in how to produce music, even surprising her classmates, and everyone was not expecting Morgan to be the only young gal in an Ableton class. Ducky was a MySpace star, releasing fun edits and song edits on SoundCloud and Tumblr, played in middle schools, high schools, house parties, and used a fake ID to work the guest list as a personal assistant in Soma, San Francisco. From passing glow sticks to DJing in the side room, she was known locally. With the support from her dad, she kept at it, but also was a rebellious type of individual. Morgan was smart enough to get away with many things. This was implemented in grade school. If Ducky chose to be lazy and or did questionable things, or the other way around, going at it with her studies, which she did. She would jump into advanced classes and while being a freshman at the same time. Morgan even admitted to selling drugs during her chaotic teen years. This topic is one that Morgan admits to not touch on a lot in detail, but does come forward the importance of being transparent of your past. Thankfully to this day, at the time of me recording this, Morgan is over 6 years clean of everything, including marijuana and alcohol. Within the young education years, she was supposed to graduate early, but complications happened with her private high school and New York University. So she got her GED from NYU to be in a unique music program, but didn't graduate, if that makes any sense. It's a mess. Even Ducky admits to this in an interview with Lauren from Sidewalktalk around 3+ years ago. I'll have a link to this interview in the EDM box below. Not wanting to go to college, she just wanted to get a snowboarding teaching license and just teach everybody how to snowboard. But her parents quickly halted that dream of hers and said, "We have custody over you, and you will go to college whether you like it or not," with a simple response from Ducky of a flip of a hair stating, "Whatever." With her times being in grade school, she states that she loved mathematics and was a nerd for it, also loved the math involved in science. Few years later, she graduates with honors in music and minored in mathematics from NY University, which took Morgan 3 years to finish at the young age of 20. Admitting to have a terrible night after graduating, Morgan did run away from New York to LA to hit it big time with her dream of being a DJ and producer. literally left everything behind except her dog, laptop, and running shoes. As more time passed on as Ducky was in LA, she released her first songs in the first label of Dear's Self Division, but that rapidly turned out to be a scam. Right after that incident, Nest HQ discovered Ducky and brought her in. Within the early times of Ducky, Morgan performed with live dancers as an indie electric pop star, was a trial and error attempt with a few dancers, including one that Ducky knew by the name of Beck Hart. From the trials and errors, Ducky created her standalone label called Quack House for the reason of having her own exclusive vision and answering to no one, just express her art, music, and style freely. From the warehouses to electronic dance music festivals, Ducky has been in all areas, also supported club aerobics with her longtime pal Bianca Oblivion, which is still a very close personal pal of hers to this day. For Bianca Oblivion, covering no particular genre, but just based off of underground dance floor tracks within an underground scene. Returning to the interview with Lauren from Sidewalk Talk, Ducky states that she wishes to be remembered for her art and for helping people. A few fun facts to mention of Ducky. Morgan states that she loves the Powerpuff Girls and Sailor Moon, also really loves Two Stupid Dogs, loves snowboarding during the time of her high school years, and has had thoughts of going back. With Ducky's time of being a producer, she states to be known for a studio vocalist and not really an actual singer, even though her voice is very iconic and unique for the underground rave scene. At the start of Ducky's official mark in the EDM world, Morgan released her first EP called Los Angeles, which carried unique EDM indie-style tunes, along with another EP called Don't Give Up Yet. This particular EP was the click that started her interaction with the first day one supporters of how the EP helped them in their own tough roads. In the year of 2017, one of her true signature songs was launched under her third EP called I Fall in Love with Everyone I Meet. This song was none other than Oceans. Along with this EP, her touring was skyrocketing to several new events, including her famous Beyond Wonderland set of 2017 that took place in San Bernardino, and touring to new destinations that includes going to Australia for some time. Jumping into 2018, Ducky did not have any EP releases, but had a few singles including Head First, Over, and Turning Back. This was the year she was featured in Ultra Music Festival, being the first DJ to start off on Ultra Music Festival radio stage. Also, a well-known appearance and performance set of her Hard Summer 2018 set that is on SoundCloud for all to hear to this very day. 2019 was the year of an EP comeback, giving not one, but two EPs to the EDM universe. The first being released on Valentine's Day with a sad and reflective EP called I Still Believe in Love, explaining the painful process of Ducky's breakup experience from an unknown boyfriend she once had. Her second EP was Optimism, which was released later on in 2019, and it describes her experience of falling in love when you are still broken and not ready for love, even not being planned on, but you have the mindset of knowing you can do this and learn and grow with the person you really want to know. On May 17, 2019, Ducky performed in EDC Las Vegas under Ducky Live, having her name officially on the lineup. Making the decision from going with a DJ set to live, Ducky used a laptop, drum pads, and an electric guitar, rehearsing for over 5 months and a few live small public performances to perform for this important big event kicking off EDC Las Vegas 2019. On July 27, 2019, Ducky had yet another important and impactful event on her career called Just Rave in Exchange LA, setting the entire club with Plur Vibes, Ducky merchandise, a candy bar to make your own candies, and a meet and greet for anyone to quickly talk to her.
We just want to say hello. We wish you were here, and yeah, we wish you were at the rave, but I love you. Hi. Thank you so much.
Ending the night with Ducky stating, I'm gonna remember this night for the rest of my life. Moving to 2020, however, needs no introduction of the painful halt the entire world faced, especially in the music industry. Ducky was unfortunately impacted for not only of the pandemic, but the entire cancellation of her first ever main headlining tour called Blue Skies Ahead, that was set to start in March 2020. Trying to stay afloat, She did a couple of live sets, some live streaming on Twitch whenever Ducky felt like getting on, and rehearsed a few songs here and there.
Goodness.
There was a secret album called Songs I Almost Lost Ducky released on Bandcamp that had a total of 15 songs. Some exclusives include It's My Birthday, When Silence is the Kindest Gift, Cruel, and a couple more songs. This secret album was only known to very few who paid attention to Ducky's works. If you wish to know more of this album, you cannot call it a secret for nothing, as this album was completely wiped from her Bandcamp account a few months after being offered to anyone that found her Bandcamp page and paid for the full album. Within early 2021, Ducky released her 6th EP called If You Miss Me, along with a couple of singles and getting herself into 2 side projects that were different from her signature status as a bubbly raver. The first being called Needless, releasing Institute EP that focuses on European dark techno music, and an emo-style band called Original Fuckboy Shit, with questionable messages behind the songs Morgan did. Over a year, with the pandemic restrictions finally being lifted in the US, Ducky initiated the CLBM tour that started in Huntington Beach, California. Making that comeback for her fans, Ducky was going into the EDM scene with full force, and her supporters couldn't wait for many more times to follow, or so the EDM world and Ducky fans thought. This particular section is completely of my personal opinion, as I do not know Morgan personally, but only support Ducky's unique making in the EDM scene. Returning quickly to 2020, Ducky left the social media system for almost half a year. Leaving that space for a good length of time brought some people to wonder what happened. After coming back, it seems, to my opinion, that the leave was used to reflect who Morgan wished to be classified as to the world, the planning of Ducky, and what was going to happen with the project in the future. All this seems to be more personal for Morgan's mentality state with what she had planned. On December 1st, 2021, Ducky released her first official album called It's Gonna Be Great. This album had a little of everything from her signature rave sounds of 150 beats per minute to techno, ambient, and electronic indie dance music. With 18 songs in total, this was a huge comeback from the songs of 2020. Along with this, Morgan gives the startling news of exiting the music industry entirely and effective immediately. No one saw this coming, and even hardcore Ducky supporters were stunned by this decision Morgan made. Ducky mentioned that if it was just me and you guys, I would do this shit till the day I die. She states the industry really broke her spirit and loves herself too much to suffer in the space. More details on this goodbye message are on Ducky's Twitter and Instagram pages, which will also be linked in the EDM box below. The end of DJ sets, creating music, side projects, Ducky is done, period. While the majority of the scene knows that producers and DJs come and go in this tireless competitive space, few people gave their thanks to Ducky for the time and music that was produced under this project. Quaxon, Shades, Two-Tone Disco, and her personal assistant artist, Sydney Jones, were among the few that gave the final sayings on social media. On December 1st, 2021, Ducky is now no more. One of the features that made Ducky so incredibly talented, and something that other DJs and producers would admit to, is her signature status on creating rave tools. Ducky took her talents on her signature initiative with creative songs that she would call them rave tools to be more out there in the rave scene. These were free edits, bootlegs, and unofficial remixes that anybody can get and use in a DJ set. Ducky created a multitude of these catchy and groovy tools. Some include from famous songs of Deadmau5, Eliminate, Bauer, and more to just a song being called Rave Tools and whatever number comes in front of it. An example would be Rave Tools 39. The SoundCloud is called Rave Tools, of course, and I encourage you to look and hear a couple of these tools if you are a Ducky supporter. Ducky was mainly a solo type of DJ and producer and performer throughout her career, but she has done some collab works with other producers. Few collaborations include the following: Two-Tone Disco with a couple of songs, her personal friend Must Die with Delete It All, stating the anger and sometimes hatred pain of the music industry, and lastly, Jaws with Rave With Me, giving the message of doing nothing else but to get lost with someone you want to know and rave. Given her signature rave vibe songs, noticeable crashes, endings that would go from the current played beats per minute to 0 beats per minute, And having Ducky's squeals, laughs in certain songs, there is no denying that Morgan gave the Ducky name a significant stand in the EDM world as a warehouse gem. Some unreleased music includes Ducky's Silver Screen remix, IDL bootleg, and a plethora of numerous tunes. It is unfortunate that the hidden songs, remixes, bootlegs, and more will never see the light of day, being on the music platforms. Some of my personal discography recommendations that I would give to everyone watching this video would be the following. Oceans, which is my first engagement of knowing who Ducky was. Complicated, from the secret album of songs I almost lost, but fortunately this song made it to the EP called If You Miss Me. A Place to Rest, which is a music video that was released from Deadbeats and a single under the label of Deadbeats. Space, from the album It's Gonna Be Great. Never Die, unfortunately, is a very exclusive song that will be very difficult to catch or get a hold of, unless you know someone who has paid for the song or the entire album, such as myself. Lastly, the most impactful song that I personally recommend to anyone that would listen to Ducky's discography is Day Zero from the EP I Still Believe in Love. A personal note that I would like to give to the viewer as of this first C&D project video that I am doing for these DJs and producers, I have to admit, I almost cried during the part that I was creating the script for this video in the Just Rave, as I mentioned of her important monumental day for Ducky's career. And as I was typing this, I envisioned myself meeting Ducky and giving her that custom t-shirt that I did based off of her tattoos. And me not knowing the beauty of candies, I was crowned on that night with a candy that she made for me and that I still carry to every EDM warehouse nightclub event to this very day, as this little piece of candy that it looks like a kindergartner could do means so much to me. Now that this project is done, most likely the giant gift that's going to be on the screen, that I've planned this for over 2 years, and it's most likely that I'm never going to be able to give this to Ducky because this project is now no more. And it is unfortunate, but at the end of the day, we all must respect the decisions that these DJs and producers wish to make in a different direction within their respected lives. If anyone wishes to see other Ducky videos that I have personally made on my channel, I will also be linking these videos in the EDM box below. And if Morgan ends up hearing this video by any random chance, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for all those memories that you gave to many ravers, including myself and the candy. I will cherish that candy to the day I do take part from this world. Thank you all for watching the first episode of the C&D project video series that I am going to give a start up for all those that began their careers of DJs and producers to the times where they end. And until my next episode, keep listening, stay safe, and rave on.